Hey, what's up, everybody? We are live from Monticello High School, and this is the Stang Station Show. This is episode 12 now. Oh, man.
Wow.
Yeah, so today on the show we have Perry and Nathan. How you guys doing?
Good. Pretty good.
What we do on this show is we bring in two guests every day, and me and Chris are always here, and we just discuss miscellaneous topics and high schoolers' opinions. You know, it's just always discussions, always a good time, you know?
Nice.
I'm going to start out the discussion today. My first question or discussion to talk about is just which teacher has had the greatest impact on you and why? And I think I thought about it, and I had this history teacher in middle school. And I was going through like a really rough time in middle school, you know, like emotionally, because of, I don't know, like puberty or something. But like he really helped me through it and like kind of like was therapeutic and like talked to me. And I think he had the greatest impact on me. But I feel like all my teachers from middle school had a great impact on me in separate ways. All of them.
Really?
Positive?
All positive impacts.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I only had, so yeah, I don't know.
I feel what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think middle school teachers, yeah, they have a big impact. I'd probably say mine would be a middle school teacher too. I had English teacher, Miss Cutright. She had a big impact on like teaching me how to write better, teaching me to like understand what I was reading better, and just middle school is just an important time in sort of shaping you, I think.
Yeah, I do agree. I have some teachers, I mean, some other teachers have had impacts on me, but there's one I remember. It wasn't like, you know, how most of it like helping wise, but like I had a teacher in 6th grade, Mr. Fidner. He's by far like my top 2 favorite teachers. He was, you know, whenever I had a problem or something, he'd always, you know, talk. He would know if I was in a bad mood, he'd help me out, you know, or he would, and he would actually, you know, I don't really like math very much, but he actually made math very fun, and I look forward to his class every single day I went there. So yeah, Mr. Fidner, 6th grade, you know, it's gotta be it.
Nice.
So, yeah.
My favorite, I don't think it was like my favorite teacher, but like her class was just really fun.
Yeah.
It was also in 6th grade. It was like science, like earth science and stuff like that. And I don't really like remember her like teaching style per se, but it was like just her class was always really, really fun.
Yeah.
There was always fun stuff to do.
Yeah, that's how Mr. Fidner's was.
So what makes a teacher impactful?
The way they come across when they teach you, like if they're enthusiastic about what they're teaching you as well as like teaching you, that's
right.
That's pretty good.
That's true.
They have a good.
I agree. If they're into what they're doing,
Exactly.
You know, if they want to be a teacher.
Yeah.
If
If
they
it feels like they care about what you're learning and about you as a person.
exactly, like when they actually like, you know, they're trying to teach you, they're not just trying to get, you know, they're not teaching to get the day over with, you know, they actually care about if you learn it. And,
Yeah.
But they're not gonna, you know, hold your hand at the same time. They gotta teach you, you know, if you want this, you gotta go out and get it yourself.
Yeah, those are the best teachers.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
That's what I think makes a good teacher, in my opinion.
I think that building a personal connection with teachers is like, I've always done that. I don't know, I just like talk to all my teachers.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
So that's something I do. I like all my teachers pretty much. I've had teachers I don't like, but it's because they're like, we're bad teachers.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
I don't know. I think a bad teacher
They don't care.
teachers who are like, one, like do teaching as like their last thing, like they went and studied something else in college and like failed, so they're like, oh, I guess I'll be a teacher. And it's like, you should never do that. If you want to be a teacher, you should want to be a teacher.
Exactly.
I actually have had some teachers who had a career first that wasn't in education and then came into teaching because they wanted to teach.
Yeah,
and
there's
they're
some
actually
people
some pretty
who go
good
into
teachers.
teaching, I feel like, because they don't have anything else to do.
Yeah,
It's
so like the last
thing.
resort. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's true.
I
I knew this one of my Spanish teachers in middle school. I asked him, I said, "What makes you want, you know, become a Spanish teacher?" He was like, "Well, I was out of college and I was like, oh, I need a job, so."
Yeah, that's just not a good thing.
It was like, I just need money. I guess I'll just teach these kids.
But he was a good teacher though, like ironically.
good.
But yeah, he
That's
was a good
good.
teacher. I think what makes a bad teacher is obviously like they don't care, and they're not interactive. You know, like as soon as you walk in there, you got this worksheet to do on the
busy
computer.
work is awful.
You know?
Yeah,
God, I hate that.
Or teachers who are just kind of like hypocritical, like they'll yell at you for being on your phone, yell at you about not paying attention, but they just don't seem like they're paying attention to anything they're teaching you. That's a a big thing that annoys me about some teachers.
Yeah, or like those teachers who don't know what they're teaching.
Like when they're
yeah.
told, when they're like
yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
BSing it.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
you'll
then
ask them like,
you
what
ask
are we
a
gonna?
question, they clearly just don't know
Yeah,
the
you'll be
answer.
like,
Exactly.
so like, what's the game plan for today in class? They'll be like, well, I just don't know. We'll just go with the flow. Like you're supposed to be like providing structure and like education.
Well,
and
some
you're just sitting there, like, you don't
that's
know.
a 50-50 thing. I feel like though, because some teachers can like have a loose-based classroom and still get a ton of work done,
Yeah.
while some are like very, very like organized.
I think it
you
depends
know?
on the subject too. Like
Yeah.
English, you can more go with the flow. I feel
Right.
like if you're like a science teacher, you should kind of have an idea of what you're going to go through.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly. Again, Spanish teacher. It wasn't in middle school. It was in high school. We had a Latino student in our class, and that teacher would always, everything he said, he'd always run it by the Latino
Oh,
kid.
really?
And I was like, man, do you not know? He was like, wait, is that? Yeah, that's right, isn't it? And I was like, well, God, everything I put on my paper, I don't know if I'm confident enough to do it. Yeah. Hey, you got to know what you're teaching. If you don't know what you're teaching, then don't.
Yeah, that's the problem with
Yeah.
like teaching out of the book. I feel like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if we're teaching you how to teach us what you're supposed to know, then
I've had
Yeah.
teachers
Get out
like
of there.
that. I don't like. Sometimes I like it, but generally, when a teacher is using a video to like teach, like a Khan Academy video.
Okay, I
If a
thought-
teacher,
yeah.
not like reiterating, like adding more evidence to their lesson, but like literally just like showing us a Khan Academy video or
Yeah.
something.
Or
'cause
just
they-
like PowerPoints they find online.
yeah,
It's
because like they
that.
don't know how to do it themselves. Or maybe it's not that. Maybe they just don't feel like teaching it. But like I feel like when they just use another resource to teach something, that's literally like another teacher.
exactly.
Especially when that's like their primary resource for teaching. I understand if
Right.
you're bringing it in to supplement something you've
Right.
already done, but if it's like your primary source and you just like, okay, class, we're just gonna go straight to that today. That's kind of that's really defeats the point of you trying to teach us something.
Right.
If we can just go find it ourselves.
Yeah.
Exactly.